Out of the 60 pieces my customer sent for ear ventilation and wigging, I've uploaded the coily part of the wig that I noticed is not on my page. But in today's tutorial, I'm going to walk you through the process of making this two-tone bowstring lookalike wig. This video comprises of how I ventilated the frontal, how I wig it using sewing machine, and how I style it. This is how the packet here I want to use looks like. The brand name is Classic. It came with machine made closure and is very long. So the next thing I'm going to do is to start the air ventilation. But before that, I have to cut the air out from the machine made closure. After cutting it, I use my hand to remove the shorter part out because we only need the longer part for the air ventilation. I pick small pieces out of the hair, fold it into two. I make sure one end is longer than the other so that the frontal will not be too short after air ventilation. Then I pinch and twist and use my hand to bring some hair out so that I can see the number of hair I want to be working with. I've already placed my net on the canvas head, but I put paper under the net so that I can see the line clearly. For this particular hair, I'm going to be using 2 holes, 1 line for the air ventilation at the back section. Then when I reach the front section, I'm going to change it to 1 hole, 1 line so that it can look fuller. And for the strand of hair I'm using at the back section, I'm using 3 strands. When I reach the front section, I'm going to be using 2 strands because I want it to be fuller and look natural as possible. So you pass your pin through the net, bring out 3 strands of hair, wrap your pin through the hair and pass it through the loop. You leave 2 holes and move to the next. You pass your pin through the net, bring out 3 strands of hair, wrap your pin through the hair and pass it through the loop, just like I'm doing in this video. I have to cut out some parts because I don't want this video to be unnecessarily long. As you can see here, I've already done more than half of the frontal. At this point, I'm done using all the padded closure, so I proceeded by using one of the remaining bundle that I have left. At this point, I've been mixing the 2 colors together. Continue by passing the pin through the net by making out 3 strands of hair. I wrap it through the hair and pass it through the loop, just like at the beginning. Once you know how to pass your pin through the net and bring out the hair, you don't have any problem. I wanted to make a tutorial on how I ventilated the front section, but I forgot. All you have to do is to use 1 hole, 1 line and change the strand of hair from 3 strands to 2 strands. You might decide to use 1 hole, 1 line for the whole frontal. It depends on your choice or your customer choice. So I have to do the remaining air ventilation off camera, and this is the result of the whole ventilation. I've already worn my door mesh cap on the canvas head off camera. The next thing to do is to place your frontal on the canvas head and use T-pin or office pin to secure it so that it will not be lifting up when you start your sewing. When you reach the side of the frontal, make sure you are pushing it forward so that the front section will look like M shape. And this is how it looks like when I'm done with the placement. And the next thing to do is to start sewing the frontal from one side to another. Remember I said I'm using sewing machine for the wigging, but I'm not perfect enough to use the sewing machine for the frontal part. So when using your hand to sew the frontal side, make sure you are knotting it just once because we want it to be as flat as possible. I'm going to leave it to watch how I do the sewing, and I'm going to explain the necessary parts later. To make the sewing easier, I'm using my metallic pen to mark like 1 inch at the back section. The reason why I'm not using my tape rule here is that if you look closely, you will see that the 1 inch is already marked at the canvas head before. I'm just tracing it out. When I reach the front section, the line I've been drawing from the back section has been forming like U shape. When I reach like 3 inches to the front, I change this from that U shape to a straight line. And I make sure the line I'm drawing right now is not up to 1 inch that I used at the back section. So I'm going to use these 3 bundles for the back section. Before I start the sewing, I have to cut this excess wig cap under the frontal parts to make the sewing easier. If you are using hand sewing, it's better you cut it after you are done sewing, but if you are using a machine, you have to cut it first before you start your sewing. If the method of sewing you want to use is double weft, like I'm doing in this video, you have to put this hair together and sew it first before you place it on the wig cap. But if you are using a single weft, all you have to do is to place it directly on the first line at the back section and start sewing it. For this particular tutorial, I mix both single weft and double weft together, and the reason why I did that is that if I use single wefts all through, the hair will be scanty and we have some leftover, and if I use double weft all through, the hair won't be enough for the whole wig. So I started with the single weft at the back. When I reached the middle section, I changed it to double wefts. When I'm closer to the front, I changed it back to single weft. I'm going to leave you to watch how I did the sewing, then I'm going to explain the necessary parts later. All you have to do when you are sewing either with hand or machine is to just follow the straight line you have done at the beginning. When I'm done with the whole sewing, I fixed the elastic band, then I wore it back on the canvas head, and I applied wax stick on the frontal part only. Then I used my hot comb to press it down. After that, I used my straightener to straighten it. When you are using this type of straightener, you can put it on the highest. When you are using those professional straightener, just make sure it's on the lowest. Remember, it's a hair blend wig. I didn't put a lot of effort in straightening this hair because it's a bulk order. No matter how I style it, it will still press somehow when packaging it, and I know when the owner receives it, she will still restyle it before she posts it. So we have come to the end of this tutorial. Please like this video to support this channel. Drop a comment if you have any questions, share with your friends, and turn on the notification bell to get notified whenever I drop another amazing video. See you in my next video. Bye.